So one of the ones I mentioned before, I can go in a little bit more depth on. So
Sure.
it was a specialty fashion retailer, or is still a specialty fashion retailer,
It's
who
good point.
they've got 100 locations, and they were struggling very much so with um, having a lot of markdowns. So they would get to the end of the season, and they were really struggling with figuring out what to do with all the unsold inventory. It was starting to get to a point where they were pushing out new sets, so they were getting like kind of intentionally behind the curve on fashion because they had so much carryover that they just needed to get through at a lower price. We were able to go in and implement they saw a 25% reduction in their inventory, their unsold inventory at the end of the season.
Mm.
So from a sell-through standpoint, I mean, you think about that as a difference between a 50% sell-through and a 75% sell-through, which in a lot of cases is the difference between not profitable and profitable
Right.
on a particular assortment.
Right. Yeah.
They saw a 15% increase in their top line sales, which again, in a
Wow.
world where a 10 comp will get you a promotion, a 15% aggregate increase in your, overall sales level is pretty impressive. And they did it with less inventory. So they were able to get those kind of results. So we're not trying to just drive sell through by tanking your overall sales level. We understand that top line sales are still probably the most important metric out there for most retailers. But we were able to do it as full price sales, and we were able to do it within the course of 6 months. And a lot of that was coming from, as I mentioned before, or as we've talked about so far, reallocation of items into places where they're more likely to sell. So we are able to think about it from, obviously we want to get that upfront allocation correct. We want to make sure that our replenishment from the DC is going to the right place at the right time. We're not sending unnecessary stock. But then as you start getting through the life of the item, being able to figure out then where is the highest probability for inventory to sell and get it there during its full price life rather than when you're in markdowns is something that was really able to help that retailer out a lot.